Okay, so I'm back at the Wizards blackjack table. It's in great part because I spent the afternoon working on a couple of tracking worksheets because I do think it's useful to take a data set, a series, a sequence of outcomes that's verifiable on YouTube online, and then just show how pattern betting can overcome a house edge, whereas these idiots, these professional losers on YouTube, just can't win unless they win more bets than they lose. So I'm kind of tired of that. I'm particularly sick of John Sirasani, who really is a crap player and just loves himself to bits. I mean, it's extraordinary to watch, really. That's definitely not a double down. 1-2. So I thought, well, I'll just have another crack at whatever. All right, so we made a bit there. That was a nice little double down. Not so good. 1-2 again. 3-4. That did not look good, did it? 7-8. Oh, that would have been nice. It's a double too. Oh God! Look at that. 7-8. So that's 23. Call it 25. Call it 5-3. And the drop is 1. 6-3. 5-3. That would have been good too, wouldn't it? Oh dear. Oh, nice one up there. Okay, now we're on 2-3. So it's the same bet. Ah! 5-6, which is 1-2-3. God, we're catching some real crap again. Dear, oh dear. Okay, well, we came out of that. So that's something to be proud of, isn't it?
Could you please provide more context?
Oh, that's funny. Google is talking to me and I haven't actually talked to Google. That's odd. Stand down, Google. Doesn't understand that. That looks like a repeat. That's a 51. Oh dear. 2-3. This guy's just getting too lucky. But that's not bad. All right. Back to the min. Very, very important. Back to the min. Lucky one. Yeah, I was trying for a long time not to hit the repeat, because it does slow things down. And then finally I've decided it helps me enormously. Um, so to hell with it. Now that's going to be 51. And that's going to be 2-3. Oh, look at that. Don't. Don't. All right. Not doing badly. This has been pretty good because we caught a couple of high value. 8-7 always catches a 9. One of those things. Very nice flush up there, but it didn't win. +1. Owie. What was that? So that's 51, isn't it? That's a repeat. God, I just made myself a magnificent burger. Because now in town here, I mean, in this little tin pot country town, you want to get a decent burger, it costs you at least £10, which is about $12.50, and not very good. Not the best. And I just decided, okay, I'm going to make myself one. So I had the usual stuff. I mean, I like cooked onions in a burger, which you can't usually get, certainly not in the States. So I fried up some onions and then cooked the burger in the fried it in with the onion flavoring, and then I put some raw spinach in the bun along with tomato, of course, and mayo, of course, and then horseradish, and it was excellent. Is that 3-4? That's not good. Well, it could be good. Yeah, it was good. All right, back to the men. But it's kind of depressing, that I mean, there's one place in town where they do excellent burgers, but they're like 16 quid, which is that's $20, and it's a nice pub and they have super beer and all the rest of it. But I mean, that's just ridiculous. Double for the push. No. Okay. Repeat. Double down. Even against an ace. No. Okay. 51. Repeat. Finally, we get on natural. Back to the men. +1. That was close, wasn't it? +1, 51. 2, 3. Again, back in the old almost long grass. Oh, look at that. 5, 6. You are a lucky bugger, Mr. Wizard. All right. Finally, your luck run out. Yeah, that burger was one of the best I've had. Made with my own fair hands. Absolutely delicious. Oh, sherbet. 51. That's a double. Shouldn't have been. So that's 3-4. 7, 8. Again, long grass. Yeah, we're catching the breaks, really, aren't we? Hmm. But the point is, of course, that if you have a plan, if you have a strategy like this one, which is consistent, disciplined, just sober, sensible, proven, then you can get somewhere with these games, even when you lose more bets than you win. But if you play like John Sirasani or Vegas Matt or Mr. Handpay or Bobby Rivas or any of those people, you're going to get screwed unless you win more bets than you lose, and that's just how it is. That didn't look good. That's a double for the loss. And that's a 1-2. Eh. All right, well, that was a lucky one. Was not expecting a bust there. +1. Oh dear. 51. Repeat it. That was not expected. Nor was that. Okay, so 51. What was that? That was 51, right? So that's a repeat. Ooh, that's a double for the push. 100 or less. All right, made that one. I think this is a pretty good one. If it stays this way, it'd be nice. Whoa, double for the loss. Repeat. Uh-huh. 51. Bugger. 2-3. We're going to have to roll over, aren't we? Because this is going to be surely the last one. Uh-huh. Okay. 5-6. Going to a new one. Oh boy. That's not good. All right, so that's 17, 12, which is 4-3, so the drop is 1. Here we go. 6-3. These are 500s. Okay, so 5-3. Uh-huh. 8-6, which is 4-3 in thousands. Dear me, look at this. 4-3, so that's 7-6. Did not expect this, I'll tell you. Look at this. So 13-6, and we're going to run away from this one. Got to get my little trusty notebook out now. I was not expecting this. Did I say 17-6 in thousands? So we've got 94.62 plus 94.62, which means we are down minus 9,538. Damn it! How did this happen? Going to stop the clock and run away. Oh, damn, I didn't put the clock in, did I? Damn it, damn it, damn it. Sorry. Well, I guess it doesn't matter now, does it? I mean, doesn't really mean much. Well, maybe I should put it in. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. At least it does explain why I've had a couple of beers. So we're on 17.6 times 1,000. Obviously, the higher the bet value gets, the more you're at risk of busting out. But the actual numbers don't change. The odds don't change. The probabilities don't change. It's simply that now you have less opportunity to spread wide. But the other thing that's odd about the numbers, of course, is that in order to get to this sort of situation, we must be way behind in terms of wins over losses, or it's way more losses than wins. Otherwise, the bets would not be this high. So there is a sort of reasonable assumption that you can make, which is that, things are likely to even out pretty soon. But of course, you never know exactly when. That's the challenge of these things. And this is why you have to have a wide spread, you have to have a big bankroll, and you have to have a fixed, disciplined, tactical strategy which you just stick to until you get turnaround. So anyway, 17.6 times 1,000. We're down 9,538 from the gagged shoe, and 17,6 is 4 is the drop. So could get shitty. Well, it's fairly shitty right now, isn't it, really? Oh dear, oh dear. So that's 21,6. Okay, now we're back to 17,6. That would have been good. Not so good. 17,6, 23,12. Boy, oh boy. Ah, Christ on a bicycle. 23,12. 35,25, and then I'm going to run away. Okay, so 35.25. So now we're on 10.11. So 21.25 now, because we're getting serious. And 21.25 turns us around. Okay, so we've got 21,000 here, plus 21,000 here, right? And minus 9,538. I won't bore you with me muttering while I try to do the sum. I'll stop the clock for a second. All right, so the story here is really quite simple. We've got a profit of 21,000 here, against which we must pay off from the gagged shoe 9,538. So that leaves us with a profit of 11,462 because of the top ups, the round ups, the sort of the rounding ups is what I mean. That's. But all I'm trying to get across with all of these demos is this is the way you must play. And if you can't play this way, then there's no point in telling yourself that gambling is entertaining, that gambling is relaxing, gambling is fun. Especially now these days when, I always think of Nevada because I lived there for so many years, but going to Vegas is no fun at all. All they do is turn you upside down and shake you till everything falls out of all your pockets and your wallet and your, whatever else. And you've been to the ATM machine 25 times and they've absolutely bloody turned you inside out. It's just not fun anymore. Vegas used to be fun for years and years and years. When I started going there in the late 70s and all the way through, certainly until the end of the last millennium, until about sort of whatever, sort of like, where the hell are we now? Sometimes I forget, honestly. We're in 2025. Okay, so it's been about 25 years of shit in Las Vegas. No, it's not that long, but it's bad. I was last there in 2013, but I was making money, so it didn't bother me too much. The bills were high, but I didn't worry about it because I was on a roll. I had sports betting going for me, and I was playing blackjack and winning at that, and that was at the MGM, and that was second week of December, 12 years ago. So, but anyway, it was great, but I didn't worry too much about the cost. I certainly didn't get any help from the casino, but when you're winning, it's easier to pay the bills, let's face it. That's just life, isn't it? Anyway, end of story, 11,462 ahead in 17 minutes, and I hope that was entertaining and interesting, and God, I do hope some people are learning some stuff out of this because, this is the way you have to play. And if you don't have a big bankroll, don't bother. Save your money. Take the kids to Hawaii. Buy a new car. Get the bloody kitchen redone. Don't bloody throw your money at these greedy bastards in the casinos. Just hang on to it. And if one day you're lucky enough to have enough money to back your play and a strategy that you believe in, and I certainly recommend pattern betting, but once you get to that point, then approach it as a business proposition, not as fun and games, not as thrills, not as excitement, not as entertainment, relaxation, or whatever. Just pure business, which is what it is for the casinos, obviously. So that's that. Bye-bye. I think it would be a polite understatement to describe the house edge in number 154 in this wizard blackjack sim as difficult. It was bloody awful. Here you've got the real time result, which is all of the bets that you saw in the demo that just ended, the real time betting, in other words. The house edge was persistently shitty. It didn't get better. That was minus 88, and at this point it crept back up to minus 87. So it just went and then crashed, and then almost, and then it just went bad, and then it was good for a bit, and then the wheels came right off. And it's summarized pretty effectively here, because in the first 21 bets, my notebook just happens to have 21 lines in it, so it's 21 bets. -4 is a 20% house edge in those 21 bets. And then the next 21 bets were even. And if you look here, pattern betting delivered 16.5% of action in the first 21, and 21% of action in the second 21. The third 21 was a serious horror story. The house got 27.5% ahead there, and pattern betting, and that's me applying pattern betting in real time in the demo that just ended up 5,713 in the toilet, which made the house advantage far worse. And then came turnaround, and at the end of it, the house edge was -12, which is -16.4%, but pattern betting delivered a win that's shown here as 11,438, which is $25 less, I think, than what I'd calculated. So I apologize for that enormous discrepancy. Most important thing to see here is, of course, that the 11,438 win was a 10% win percentage of the total action of 116,425. And you come over here and you see that the average win was 2,204 and the average loss was 1,312. Now, if there's anybody watching this who thinks that this is all stupid and a waste of time, and gambling in a casino is just about fun and games and having a good time and necking a few so-called complimentary cocktails and getting the bloody tar beaten out of you, then well, obviously you wouldn't still be with me, would you? But going back up to the charts, you can see the difference here. I mean, it's just horrible. We went from where we were at 791,000 ahead, dropped all the way down to 760. So that was 30,000 worth of exposure, which has got to be down here somewhere. Yeah, 30,600. And then we came out of it. And, random bettors cannot do that. It's just not possible. And a flat better would have been destroyed. So that all of these jokers on YouTube who are trying to pretend that they're gambling sensibly or rationally or responsibly or whatever. And as I said at the beginning of this demo, I'm often accused of obsession, and I own up to that happily, because just to repeat the point, I don't believe that anything worthwhile has ever been achieved throughout human history without obsession, whether it's walking 10,000 miles to find a better place to live and raise your family. Not 10,000 miles, but certainly thousands of miles over time, over a period, over a lifetime, coming all the way up to Henry Ford and his Model T, and the guy who invented television, and Steve Jobs, and anybody who got anywhere had to be obsessed. And that's my view anyway. And I'm not in any way comparing what I'm doing to the great breakthroughs that have been made in history, the extraordinary discoveries in medicine and all that kind of thing, all of which were obsession based. But all I'm saying is, if you want to overturn the status quo, if you want to improve things, you need to be obsessed. It's really that simple. And yeah, I'm sure there are people out there who disagree with me. Something that's a little uncomfortable for me is that when the pattern betting algorithm tackled this same awful set of crap, and I haven't put the charts down there, but when it tried to beat it, it actually came out very, very close. 1,775 behind. It needed one more win to turn this around. It would be obviously, most likely be another 100,000. And I'm not sure exactly what happens in 155, and maybe I should stop this and go and find out. Why don't I do that? Well, I'm sure you'll be delighted to hear that happy times are ahead for Algae, the pattern betting algorithm, because the first 3 bets in the next session, number 155, were clear winners. I didn't go beyond 3. But while the clock was stopped there, I did update the charts, or put the charts in here. And you can see that we're on the brink with the algorithm. We're at minus 0.4% of huge action, much greater than I experienced down below. Let's go down here and look at the total action. The total action was 116 in real time. The algorithm had to work a lot harder. But obviously there's going to be some prat out there who's going to say, yeah, well, you cheated, didn't you? You're just saying the next 3, whatever. And if I can, I'll add the first 3 bets to show you what I mean. But basically what that would mean is we'd get player, oops, not in caps. Got to do this right. P, and you can see happy times. And the idea that I would cheat with these things is just too bloody ridiculous. I mean, these people are so harebrained. What the hell? What would be the point? What would be the point? I'm not selling anything. I'm not doing anything other than simply trying to get the word out that, you know what? You will lose your money if you don't take these games seriously, if you don't treat them as a business, if you don't go into that business with enough capital to take you through the hard times. Every business has occasional hard times, and you have to have a float, if you like. You have to have backing. You have to have money in the bank so that when things go pear-shaped, for a while, you can get out of trouble. And so, this is accurate. The first number 155, which is the next one coming up, Nottingham 155. Yeah, that's from the horse racing thing. So this happens with Excel. It's it's great. But anyway, number 155. It does very, very well because the first 3 bets are wins. And that's how it goes. That's the normal pattern with these games. But the casinos make their money when the pattern goes shit-shaped, the wheels come off for the player runs out of bankroll because he came to the table with bugger all money, with a shoestring bankroll. And Mr. HP and all of these other guys do it all the time. They say, oh, well, we're coming to the table with 30,000 or whatever, and then start betting from 500 to 10,000. And oh, whoops, lost. And sometimes they win, but they only win when they win more bets than they lose. And here, look at us. We came out almost here, having lost 12 more bets than we won. And then down below in online reality, even though we lost 12 more bets than we won, we came out 10% ahead. So that's all I'm saying to you. Just don't waste your money. If you can't afford to win, don't waste your money. Spend it on the kids, on the family, on whatever. But don't give it to the casinos when they don't deserve it. They don't need it. Oh, dear. All right, so here we are with the first three hands in session number 155. I'm not sure how I'm going to make this work.
Usually a comfort zone, not always, but
usually. There's a million other things I should be doing, but I don't feel like it. Oh, and the sound is off because I was on a phone call and it interrupted me. Sorry about that.
It's funny, I was just listening to Vegas man moaning on about how
seeing the first
people who are opposed to what he does.
That's two in a row, isn't it?
I think that's a repeat, isn't it?
Are so certain in the way they present their argument. But here's a guy who does nothing positive, really. I mean, he's throwing money away like an absolute idiot.
And he does admit that he's an idiot sometimes.
That's four in a row. And offering no help at all to his followers. He just keeps playing like a prat. Okay, anyway, I can stop it now because that's certainly turnaround achieved in four in a row. I mean, come on. That's the proof for all those idiots out there inclined to say,
you cheated.